The Capital Jazz Cruise 17. I'm Lady Green, one of the hosts, and I have the honors right now of sitting with a beautiful lady who's not only born under the same sign as I am, astrologically, because we're both Virgos, but she covers the spectrum from R&B to jazz to soul to gospel. It is a pleasure and honor to be sitting with Christie Dashiell. How you feel, my love?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling just as honored to be with you.
You're too kind.
Yeah.
Too kind. But first of all, let's inform everyone, this is your very first cruise.
This is my first cruise, period.
Ever. And you know what? From this forward on, there's nothing going to be something like this.
Yeah, no. I imagine this is an experience that I'll never have, again, quite like this.
So we welcome you to the Capital Jazz SuperCruise.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you on many more occasions.
I'm hoping
But being so, this is your first experience, and you did a phenomenal performance the other night.
Thank you.
How was that received?
It felt great. It always feels good to perform in front of an audience that, just feels like they're right there with you. I mean, everything I did felt like the folks understood it and were there for me, supporting me, but also like really intently listening. So it felt great.
There's nothing but jazz enthusiasts that really come to this cruise that looks at the linear notes just as much as they pay attention to the songs and the lyrics that you deliver. And it's understandable, quite understandable, how you have become the 2025 Grammy-nominated songstress.
Yeah.
And that has to be a big deal. There's so many people that have been in the game for a long time that have not even gotten Grammy nominated. So how does that feel at this stage again?
It feels great. And also, with you saying that, it kind of puts things into perspective that Grammy nominations are incredible, and we all hope to get this kind of recognition from our peers. And also, because there are so many great artists that have never received that sort of recognition, it kind of helps you keep it like in check, that the Grammys don't define my greatness. They don't define anybody's greatness, but it is a really great thing to say in front of my name now.
Look, there's so many things we can say in front of your name. You know about a lot, because it's true that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You're born in D.C., raised in Greenville, North Carolina. But let's talk about how phenomenal your dad has been to you all throughout the years.
Yeah, he's a very important piece of this puzzle that I guess is me. I mean, obviously, he's just like the reason I'm here, but like in so many ways, he is the reason I'm here, because I fell in love with jazz music through him. He's an incredible bassist and jazz educator, and I watched him make music with Vanessa Rubin, Maceo Parker, Stephanie Mills, like a really long list of incredible artists. And so I think that's like in my musical DNA. So when I sing, all of those influences come out. But more than anything, it was watching my father that made me decide to be a musician.
You have such an impeccable voice.
Thank you.
And it reaches and touches so many people. But you come from a musical family, and I want to know how that competition is. Because, we've heard about musical families over the years, but is there competition, good competition among siblings?
I would say it's friendly competition. More than anything, I was inspired. I'm the third of four musicians. And so more than anything, I was inspired by my older siblings and even my younger sibling. He's great. So it was less competition, but more like, oh, my brother's playing that. Yeah. I want to learn that too. Yeah. So, I was more inspired than feeling competitive. But, I mean, maybe with the slight edge of competition,
well,
the slightest.
Look, by coming from a family that's competitive, that's, bred in music, entrenched, it wasn't nothing for you. But can't forget, 10 years ago, you were competing in the Thelonious Monk vocal competition. So that must have been a piece of cake.
Wow, that was 10 years ago. That's crazy. Yes.
It's 2025, right?
Yep.
So you did that in 2015?
2015, yeah. I did that when I was, like kind of out of grad school. I had just graduated from grad school and just really trying to figure out who I was as a singer. And I think at the time I really was married to this idea that competitions can kind of help you get to where you want to be. And now kind of 10 years later, I'm realizing it's the journey along the way that is the sweetest thing.
And what a wonderful journey. Dad was an educator, right?
Yeah.
You have become an educator, but not just at any school. Let's talk about an HBCU.
The illustrious Howard University. I got to look at camera for that.
You know.
The illustrious. There's no other.
No other.
Yeah.
My great grandmother attended.
Oh, cool.
I wish I had.
Well, you're a Bison by
Yeah,
family.
adoption.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
we won't
adopted.
call it that, but there's nothing like being a real alum of HU.
Yes.
And
yes.
that experience alone was what?
I mean, it was great. I went to the Mecca of Black education to get my degree in a Black music, a Black art form. So I learned from some of the best educators and musicians and people that have dedicated their life to the craft. And now I in turn get to instill this same love for the music in like children. Well, they're not children, but young people that look a lot like me at that age.
So inspiring.
Yeah, very inspired. I'm very inspired by them, really. And they keep me on my toes because they're so wise and they're also really naive in a way. And so they keep me, I'm young, but they keep me younger. I think.
Yeah, you're definitely young, and they're definitely keeping you younger.
Yeah.
But now the greats are familiar with you.
Mm.
Can we talk about Diane Reeves? Can we talk about Wynton Marsalis? They know your name at the top of their minds.
Wow. Yeah, that's wild because I listened to both Diane Reeves and Wynton Marsalis when I was a kid. I mean, and I listen to them now. So even the fact that I can look at my phone and call up Diane Reeves or Terry Lynn Carrington, like, they're my friends, is really still kind of mind-blowing to me.
So I want to know, what moving forward, because you already have 2 albums now underneath the belt.
Yeah.
And you took a nice little break in between.
Mm-hmm.
But moving forward, who would you like to collab with?
Well, I mentioned Terry Lynn Carrington is one of my biggest mentors.
She's a drummer, right?
She's a drummer.
Yeah.
She's not only a drummer but also an activist. She really dedicates her life to jazz and gender justice, which is really great. But I would like to collaborate with her, and actually I have collaborated with her on a record that's coming out in May of this year.
Okay.
And it's a reimagining of the Max Roach and Abby Lincoln record, We Insist.
So this is not a part of the Journey album?
No, this is a totally different album that Terry Lynn and I are putting out in May. So I'm very, very excited about that.
That's going to be fantastic. But now, if I had to go a little younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in the R&B or jazz.
Yes.
Who would you like to hook up with?
Oh, younger? Okay. Well, there's so many. The first person that came to mind was Moonchild, who's there performing tonight.
Yeah.
I love Moonchild. So I would love to make some music with them.
What about musicians?
Musicians or instrumentalists? Gosh. Oh, Corey Henry. I love the way he plays organ. Adam Blackstone. He's one of my friends that I get to make music with, but we've never recorded together. I'd love to do a record with him. Singers, I'd love some Mara Joy. I'd love to sing a duet with her.
I can see that.
So I mean, it's the list just goes on and on.
Christie, the sky's the limit for you. You know that, right?
Oh yeah,
the universe is all
beyond.
yours.
It's beyond. I can really feel that now. At one point I didn't, but now I feel like it just keeps going and going.
Well, now that you have experienced your first cruise ever in life, not just any cruise, the Capital Jazz SuperCruise.
Yeah.
What would you like to say to your fan base in moving forward?
Ooh, wow! I'd like to say keep listening. Keep living, because the living is what inspires us all and is what brings us all together to enjoy this thing that we call music and art. And just thank you, too. Thank you. And
on behalf of millions of people, thank you for giving us and sharing your gift with us.
Because
that's what we're going to treasure and hold on to. So keep being inspired and keep inspiring many.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
Capital Jazz SuperCruise, baby. And it gets better by the moment.